Hello everyone, it's the Anime here. Today we are recording What If Deku Had Spider-Man's Powers, Episode 3. But before we get into it, hit the intro. Okay, so where we left off, we just finished the All Might training arc with the students, so now we are going to the USJ arc. Sorry if I'm whispering, but I gotta be quiet. But hey, it's a little ASMR. Okay, so obviously the USJ arc begins with the students going on the field trip to the USJ building facility. And then as they walk in, they see a strange purple portal, and this is Kurogiri, but they soon figure that out. So it says this is not real, these are real villains attacking. Go, run and hide. But before that, Kurogiri goes up behind them, and they all get to go to the same places as canon. But this time, over the time they had between the USJ arc and the battle training with All Might, Deku invented the web shooters on his own because he has a little bit boost of intelligence since he has Spider-Man's powers. So yeah, and now, so when they get on the boat, Deku says hang on, and he just attaches himself to the land and just goes. And then after that, almost everything goes up to canon. So basically, Azawa still gets attacked by the Nomu, and he still loses, he has a limited time on his power. And Shigaraki almost kills Froppy. Right, but then All Might shows up, and then he attacks the Nomu, and Deku also tries to help fight Tomo Shigaraki, but is stopped by All Might because he says this villain's too dangerous for you. And yeah, so after this, we have the UA Sports Festival. Okay, so as I told them all the students about the UA Sports Festival, like in canon. But this time, during the first obstacle course race, Deku has the Spider-Man web shooter, which he uses to attach to the robots and get past them quite easily. So then, after that, you go to the minefield, which is also another easy obstacle for Deku, because he just attaches his webs to other contestants and just uses them as things to swing off of and get past the bombs, while simultaneously also eliminating or slowing down other people in the process. And then at the very end of the bomb race, he swings off of both Bakugo and Todoroki and wins the match. Okay, so now we're going on to the cavalry battle, which it's not really going to play off as much as canon, you see, because Deku still is going to have the 1,000,000-point one, but he won't have one for all to protect himself, but he will still have the same teammates. So everything will really go the same up until the part when Todoroki tries to grab the headband, which at this point Deku doesn't have the same strength as he did, using 100% of his power in one arm when he did it against Todoroki during the cavalry battle. So Todoroki won't use his flames, but Deku using his Spider Sense will still be able to dodge Todoroki. So then basically that's the really only major change to this story at that point in the cavalry battle. And then Deku still gets his headband taken away by Todoroki's team, but he still manages to scrape in enough points to qualify for the finals. So now we move on to the tournament arc, which all the matchups are still the same, and everyone still wins around the same. So we will have the Bako versus Uraraka, which Uraraka won't be that inspired by Deku, so she will lose a little bit easier than in canon to Bakugo, since she's not as inspired, but she'll still try her hardest because she's so inspired to become a hero. So now we will have Deku versus Todoroki, which is always one of the hypest matches in one of the what-ifs. So in this match, he will use his spider sense to give him an even playing field with Todoroki to sense where he's going to attack and when he's going to attack. So it's really just a dodge and weaving, a game of cat and mouse between Todoroki and Deku until Deku is able to get one of his shots off at Todoroki and being able to swim in, which at this point Deku already knows, even without a spider sense, that Todoroki's trying to freeze him up once he gets close. But with the spider sense, it just makes it that much easier, able to dodge, and then he just slams Todoroki into his own ice. And once he got to grip on Todoroki, he just kind of keeps on repeating the same thing, and Todoroki's not getting knocked out, but he's getting injured. So until Todoroki is able to freeze the webbing, not freezing Deku, but freezing, just breaking free from the webbing, basically. So then, after this, it goes back to a game of cow and mouse until Deku just uses all of his strength that he can muster up from the extra strength he has from having Spider-Man's powers, and just having the 10 times strength multiplier, and he just sprints at him, and using the spider sense to dodge and weave as best as he can, getting scraped by a little bit of ice, but that's about it. And then he punches Todoroki, sending him flying back, and he's saying, if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to use your fire side, because these ices, I can dodge it easily, and it's just gonna go on forever until you run out of stamina, and then I win. And then once Todoroki gets up, he says, alright, you want me to use my fire side? Fine, but don't blame me for what happens afterwards. So then Todoroki uses both ice and fire, and it explodes into a fireball mass. And then as Todoroki was getting up, Deku set up a huge, giant base of webbing around the arena to block Todoroki, or try to block Todoroki, while at the same time, while Todoroki's coming at him, getting ready to use at least 20 times the strength, which will be injuring his body. He already knows this, but at least using 20 times the strength to hopefully get rid of Todoroki. And they have their major clash, which Cementos tries to block, and it basically looks exactly as it would in the original, and as epic as it did in the original. And Todoroki and Deku to tie in this one. Okay. Alright, so yeah. So I will be finishing off the rest of the sports festival in the next episode, and be going on to the Stain Arc in the next episode as well. So, anyways, this was the enemy logging off.